The joke has got, like a lot of jokes, a grain of truth to it. It was the definition of a public health catastrophe. Public health catastrophe is a health effect so powerful that even an epidemiological study can detect it. That means that epidemiology is probably a pretty blunt instrument for identifying that small proportion of chemicals that I talked about before that are capable of causing cancer. And it's extremely difficult to do. It's not an experiment, an animal experiment where we control anything. It's like Dr. Clapp says, it's an animal experiment where you let the animals out of the cage, and they get exposed to all sorts of stuff besides what you want them to. So that's one problem. And the second problem is if you try and identify things that cause cancer by using epidemiology, you run into this latency period for carcinogens. So that by the time you've identified them, like the asbestos case, it's too late. Even if you could get the stuff out of the environment immediately, you wind up for the entire length of the latency period suffering cancers from the previous exposures. So in my view, epidemiology is not the proper public health method for identifying which chemicals cause cancer. It's very important in the legal sphere because it's been erected as somehow the gold standard for whether something can cause cancer or not by industry, who knows that it's a very difficult threshold to meet. But it's very poor from the public health point of view. From the public health point of view, you would like to identify these chemicals more quickly and more easily, and that's why animal experiments, animals built on the same organization plan as human beings, are used in cancer as they are used for all sorts of other biomedical research, like Alzheimer's disease and diabetes and so on. We don't do these experiments on human beings, we do them on animals. In this case, animals that we understand very well because they're extremely well characterized.